We decided to revisit the time when Call of Duty didn't hold your hand, didn't care about your feelings, and wasn't trying to sell you pink weapon skins. I'm of course talking about Call of Duty World at War, the 2008 masterpiece. So my brother and I decided to play through the whole campaign from start to finish. And let me tell you, this isn't your average military power fantasy. It's mud, blood, and flamethrowers. So grab your empathy and moral compass, you're not gonna need either. Make sure to subscribe. We start off on the beaches of this place I cannot pronounce, where my character, Private Miller, is about to be executed by a Japanese officer. I'm not gonna lie, this is kinda a rough start. Most games start with a tutorial, but this one starts with the emotional trauma. But right when I'm about to die, my brother busts in and handles the situation. I put on my hat and they give me a weapon. After this, the rest of the mission is pure chaos. We just storm through the beaches, shooting every single thing in our path. It's really hard to describe how many lives we took this night, but I can tell you that much, it wasn't little. It definitely wasn't little. After killing 10 million people, I get promoted to Private 2, or Private 2nd, however we wanna call it. I guess this means I can now boss around Private 1s. We are trying to move on, but we get ambushed again. I guess the enemy soldiers didn't just realize that I already killed 10 million people, and they still try again. When we get to the near of the end of the first mission, we realize that shooting 10 million rounds from our weapons, it's getting kinda stale, so we sent this truck to do our dirty business for us. I make sure to stand completely still for 10 minutes as we plant the charges for the bombs. Few more kills for the kill streak and we're out of here. I don't know should I be proud or scared when I see my brother, with his dying breath, use his last bit of energy to shoot down the enemies. I don't know where he was keeping that pistol, but he's sure putting it to good use now. As I'm trying to escape the island, I nearly get caught by an enemy grenade. I get the bulletproof challenge completed by proving that bullets actually kill people. By the time we reach the boat, we have liberated the island, committed at least 10 international violations, and set the tone for the rest of the game. No one's making it out clean here. Next up, we storm another beach. Apparently the developers had buy one, get one free deal for traumatic intros. Jokes aside, this intro to the mission is extremely cool, and I loved every second of it. We used these tiny twigs as cover when the bullets rain down on us. I hit the kill streak and call down the Air Force, and the massive airstrike takes me to the top of the leaderboard. We're guided by Sergeant Roback again, who has the energy of a man that hasn't slept since Pearl Harbor. Moving towards the end of the mission, we get to mount these absolutely massive guns, which immediately makes us the most dangerous persons within the 5-mile radius to both the enemy and our teammates. The mission ends with me calling the airstrike from hell. It's loud, messy, and incredibly satisfying. We also realize that committing all of these war crimes will probably not get us applauded at home, so just to be sure, we take out the witnesses. Our next stop, Belliliu. Belliliu. Some place I cannot pronounce. At first glance, the place looks like a tropical paradise, until you realize it's just another place packed with soldiers, and I gotta do a lot of killing. I don't know if it's just my TikTok brain, but these missions are getting kinda repetitive. We need to take out this enemy bunker, and I hit the God grenade straight through the window. I cannot lie, this run to the airfield is really cinematic, and I absolutely love it. We capture the airfield, destroy some tanks, and storm the Japanese stronghold. Every time I think we're done, more enemies crawl out from the mud, thinking they're gonna be the hero. At this point, the game's message is pretty clear. You can't spell peace without get fucked enemy soldiers. Then hard cut. We're now full on Red Army mode. I still don't know why I'm here. What did I do? Did I deserve this? But all I know that Reznov busts in and saves the day. I love this man. We push back the Germans by burning one barn at a time. Reznov tells me show them no mercy, which in this game is kind of redundant. I don't need to hear that. I like how this tiny ass countryside house walls can protect us from the tank. We take the tank out with 10,000 bazooka shots. The mission ends us driving the tank through a village like two kids sharing a go-kart. Reznov laughs while I question every moral I've ever had. Next up, back to Pacific, where the main gameplay mechanic is shoot down everything and burn everything. We're tasked with clearing bunkers using flamethrowers, and I quickly realized developers probably had too much fun designing the fire physics. The sound design alone could actually fuel nightmares. By the end, the jungle is a smoldering wasteland, and I'm starting to suspect that World at War is actually a video game about war, where you have to kill people. The next mission is called Relentless, which fits in perfectly, since there is no stop to this game's madness. It also might be a reference to this level, since it doesn't stop. Every time we think all of the enemies are gone, another wave appears. It's like the game is trolling us personally. I go for the desperate move of finding the biggest gun I can find, and just shooting everywhere. At one point, I accidentally shoot my own squad. Roback didn't even flinch. I think he expected it. Next up, back to Russians, and it's time for the mandatory tank mission in every FPS game's campaign of all time. Reznov and I drive the Soviet armor behemoth through Germany like we're late for a parade. Everything explodes here. Buildings, vehicles, and dreams. This is oddly satisfying, but in I might need therapy after this kind of way. At the end of the mission, we celebrate fiercely about the destruction of our moral compass. We finally enter Berlin, which probably has seen some better days. This once great city has turned into a pile of rubble. The German soldiers are surrendering, civilians are crying, and Reznov's just shouting about revenge. The man's having a time of his life. By now I'm starting to realize that World at War isn't just about winning battles, it's about making the enemy team lose the battle. The last soldier alive tries to be the hero, but I take care of it. This next mission is Chaos Distilled. We fight through apartment buildings, toss grenades into kitchens, and watch ceilings collapse like the housing market in 2008. The game is so great that it's about to die, so I probably have to up the saturation to the max. By the end, the mission ends with the whole place blowing up. A true visual metaphor for the future of this channel. In the next mission, I try to use the TNT like the game instructed, but I just end up jerking off the detonator. This one has us storming fortified hills, burning out caves, and listening to robots scream motivational slogans like there are threats. By now the flamethrower has become my favorite weapon of all time, and I demonstrate this by giving the enemy soldiers a free cooking class. Victory has never smelled so good. Even the game recognized my talents by giving me the challenge completed. By the end, I've lost count of how many lives I've taken. But it sure is warm and cozy here. This next mission is called Breaking Point, which is convenient since I'm about to reach that with this playthrough. What's another 2 million people on top of my death count? After killing 10 million soldiers, we reach the last level of this mission. We bombard this place with multiple airstrikes until the enemy soldiers have no other choice than to surrender. By the end of the mission, we see our commanding officer's corpse in the ground. I'm not kidding, this is so emotional, I'm holding back tears. Please subscribe and like for the sergeant. We fast travel back to the Russians, where Reznov is still thirsty for blood. Since I don't have my flamethrower anymore, I'll have to scratch that itch with these molotovs. I'm having a hard time with recognizing a friend from foe, and yet again I shoot my teammate. We shoot down the enemy soldiers like they owe us money. Reznov is yelling, bullets are flying, and every wall looks like a Swiss cheese. In the end of the mission, this game stun locks us to this part for around 10 minutes. I'm trying to fight for my mental health. It's time for the grand final. We raise the Soviet flag over Berlin as the city falls apart. The last of the soldiers try to protect their home, but we sniped them out. By the way, this is the first time in the whole playthrough we actually get to use snipers. Oh nice. Reaching outside, where we are about to raise the flag, I decide to have some fun. We also stun lock Reznov for one last time. I'm not quite sure if he appreciates this. The main campaign ends by the flag just waving in the smoke. Reznov proceeds to yap. So yeah, World at War might not be the prettiest or friendliest Call of Duty game out there, but goddamn if it's not the most honest. Like and subscribe.